Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day. The Teleislas family received the great news of being certified with ISO 9001, which guarantees the management and quality of the processes of a regional channel.
With the ISO 9001-2015 certification, our channel demonstrates the improvement of its products and services in addition to its commitment to quality.
Well, in Teleislas, the entire family, we're very happy because we have achieved an next goal in terms of our certification of quality of our process. It's important to know that internally in the planning area, you need to have, I would say, step-by-step defined and clear in which you have to move and you have to work. So whenever you have a certification in calidad or quality of organization, is an advancement in terms that you don't have to thinking, or you don't have to invent more process or more areas in which to work. You don't have like a guideline which telling you where you should go and which result you expect to get. So that is very important for the channel, and this is a big advancement.
Kalisha Watson, the administrative coordinator of the channel, tell us about the process of achieving the certificate.
Well, this process was 2 years ago. It was a hard process. Although we had to get accustomed to new documents, new processes, but with the help of external people from Bogota, and between all of us, we come through and get this certificate in ISO 9001-2015.
ISO 9001 is an international standard developed by the International Organization for Standardization that applies to the quality management systems of public and private organizations, regardless of their size or business activity. It is an excellent working method for improving the quality of product and services as well as customer satisfaction.
Information sharing continued in the Departmental Assembly, the Budget and Government Committee, where some projects seeking the creation of new secretariats in the departmental government were exposed.
During this morning session in the Government Commission in the Departmental Assembly, members of the Cabinet of the Administration who were summoned by the Duma explained points around Draft Ordinance 024, which seeks the creation of some secretaries and elevated the press office to press secretariat. On the session, Secretary of Finance Luis Viloria and Deputy Oswaldo Garcia, President of the Commission, said the following.
This project was also approved in the previous period. We are taking office, and again the project is being retaken for the creation of this secretariat, only looking at the issue of the economy of the department after the passage of the pandemic. The mandate is legal and legitimate, and therefore this project complies with the constitutional legality. And at the moment we are studying the issue of convenience and the issue of resources to see if the resources are there or how they are going to be managed, so that it can become a reality and I have a balance in the budgetary base. So the Government Commission has already started the analysis and study of this project, and we are giving the secretaries a certain space so that this may be benefit to all of them who are involved in this project.
Likewise, today at the Departmental Duma in the Budget Committee, the presentations of the Secretariat of Agriculture and Fisheries and Education were held. Teleislas News will be aware of how these sessions evolve.
Large investments and the realization of new environmental projects of the archipelago were announced by the Ministry of Environment.
The Director of the Marine Affairs of the Ministry of Environment and in charge of the crab operation, Eric Castro, announced several projects to be undertaken in the archipelago, among which is the planting of corals as part of the 1 million corals plan of the national government and large investments for World Providence.
Tenemos también unas inversiones bien importantes que se vienen para el Parque Nacional.
We also have a very important investment coming for the Old Providence National Natural Park, which has already been awarded. The first thing is the restoration of the ecosystems and key species of the park. There we have an investment of close to or over 639,000 million with resources from the USAID National Wealth Program with support from the US government, the rehabilitation of the ecotourism sector of Crab Key. We expect to begin construction this year with an investment of more than 1,275,208,123 million pesos, with the cooperation of the German government through KfW and the recovery of the operational campus of the park.
Other important announcements include a project called Seaflower Plus 202 Expeditions and a plan to restore World Providence ecosystems.
Próximamente, y me adelanto, estaremos lanzando.
We will soon be launching the Seaflower Plus 2021 expedition in September. This is a different expedition from the one that would have been done in previous years. The expedition is terrestrial and marine and has a differential component, is that we are going to be able to update all the maps of forest cover, corals, and grasslands. This expedition is estimated to have a cost of 6,400 million pesos. We have another project to restore the terrestrial, coastal, and marine ecosystems of the island of Old Providence and Santa Catalina, with a significant investment of 4,298 million pesos.
With this investment and progress, the national government seeks to restore the natural attractiveness of the archipelago, especially of the island of Old Providence affected by Hurricane Iota.
And with the objective of reestablishing and strengthening the economy of the islands through the control of smuggling and products entering the island, such as alcohol and cigarettes, the first interdepartmental anti-smuggling meeting was held.
Seeking to strengthen the fight against smuggling, the first interdepartmental anti-smuggling meeting was held on the island with the participation of several entities and military forces.
El programa tiene como fin el restablecimiento del orden económico y
The program is aimed at restoring economic order and strengthening the department's own revenues, destined to the portfolios of health, education, and sports, as well as the protection of public health, since it is a criminal activity closely related to the crimes of counterfeiting and alteration of these products, and also to defund the criminal gangs engaged in this activity.
On the other hand, the head of the revenue of the governor's office gave the perspective of the islands regarding the training that took place.
Nosotros como anfitriones de esta capacitación.
We as hosts of this training with all the chiefs of revenue and the treasury secretariats, we are going to close with the training we did and the exchange that was made with the other chiefs of revenue and the treasury secretaries, with the objective of having a clearer programmatic role supported by the National Federation of Departments.
The collection of consumption tax seeks to be used in the replenishment of the department's economy in the Caribbean region and Antioquia participation in the event, where strategies are sought for the use of this tax in improving the economy of each participating region.
2 days ago, Hurricane Grace lashed the island of Gran Cayman with heavy rains and winds. And from this island, the islander Daniel Rodriguez recounted his experience during this natural phenomenon.
The force of the natural phenomenon Grace was felt in Cayman Island. The images that are circulating in social networks show some damage caused, palm trees and fallen trees, floods and force of the wind, and the waves in the area. Cayman is an island inhabited by many islanders from our department who have also lived in their own flesh the anguishing moments that brought the new tropical storm Grace. Daniel Rodriguez Silva was one of them and tell us what he experienced.
Giving thanks here in Cayman Island because the hurricane would have been worse. We get a lot of damage, a lot of trees and roofs. You can see the trees here. People cleaning up. It would have been worse, but thank God everything was smooth.
According to Dana Rodriguez, they were prepared ahead of time, both physically and psychologically, since the government was prepared and the companies gave their workers time to go out and prepare for the hurricane. According to what the islanders say, about 5:40 a.m., he felt the force of the phenomenon.
I went to sleep and I hear the noise on my roof. When I wake and I look at the time, it was after 5, something like 5:40, and the breeze was crazy. I think my roof went blind, but I never the roof. That was just the mango tree over the roof there was hitting on the roof, but it was a rough time. It was a rough time.
Finally, Rodriguez highlighted the work and support of the government to evacuate the affected people, and he is thankful that nothing major happened.
And this weekend, an entrepreneurship fair will take place, look to boost and reactivate the local economy. The director of SENA, Lorena Aldana, expands this information.
On Saturday, August 21st from 1 p.m. at the Morgan Canyon, we would like to invite the community to come out and join the event called Buy Local, which is a strategy for entrepreneurs of the RRE and Impulsa that is supported by the departmental government, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Regional Center of San Andres, with the purpose of making visible the entrepreneurs and businessmen of the archipelago and to promote from the quality of the products and all they offer so that it can generate a marketing process.
Around 20 entrepreneurs will be participating in this weekend's Buy Local event, and the entire community is invited to support them.
And in other news, the events related to the 7th National Congress of Controllers in the department have already ended.
Departmental Controller Justiniano Brown announced the successful conclusion of the academic session and that they will be able to identify the issues related to events theme, which is the fiscal control and the environment.
Mainly, we want to thank the National Council of Controllers for choosing us as the venue for the 7th National Congress of Controllers. What is sought with this Congress is the strengthening of fiscal control in the country, and especially issues that have to do with the environment. We have learned that one of the most difficult things has been the environmental control, so the focus of this Congress was directed to this topic.
The controller took advantage of the framework of this Congress to invite the community to participate in the control processes of the entity.
The Departmental Controller's Office has enabled a link for citizen participation where people can access and participate in this fiscal control. It is contraloria.sci.gov.co. Our priority has always been that the community participate in these processes.
The controller states that with this Congress, it was possible to exchange information to be able to compensate for the technical difficulties that the department has to determine the losses of fiscal costs that have occurred in the environment.
Now let's learn about other events that are making news in our brief news sections of today.
The Department of Social Development conducted its prevention campaign against violence against women, interacting with 8th grade students of the Departmental Technical Educational Institution of Natania. During the activity, the children received all the information regarding the types of violence and the route of care in case of a case of gender violence. Uniformed members of the National Police conducted a security campaign in the southern part of the island, where they provided awareness to visitors on how to prevent cases of domestic violence and make good use of the elements of biosecurity. During the activity were held recreational activities with tourists and residents. The Secretariat of Tourism is conducting an awareness campaign that invites citizens to be aware of any anomaly with minors and report any suspicion in a timely manner. The Prevention Group Against Commercial Sexual Exploitation of Children and Adolescents is located in different tourist attractions on the island.
Now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for today, August 20th. In the coastal area of archipelago, the sky is mainly cloudy. Temperature is 28 degrees Celsius, winds from the northeast direction with intensities of 14 km per hour. Humidity forecast is of 78% and probability of precipitation is of 19%.